Okay.
Hey, boom, my brother Rudy is with us on this Monday. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I am doing really, really well. Thank you. I mean, it's been a very busy morning, and I'm going to do a watch party here while we're talking, but just been
Absolutely.
really, really cool morning. Bear with me one second. We are live, and here we go.
Yes.
Want to give a shout out this morning. I haven't had a chance to tell you this, Rudy,
Yes.
to Peggy. How are you, my brother?
I'm
Peggy
good,
was
man.
going
How you
to
doing?
join us today, but this morning received a call to come and be by the side of her brother,
Okay.
and she's driving there. It's a good day's drive. We
Okay.
wish the best for her and her
Oh
family,
boy.
but
Yes.
here's an example of the culture that our CEO Holton Bugs puts together. We
Right.
are a family here, and when someone has something that requires their immediate attention, they have to take a step away from their business. Their
Yes.
business never stops. We're there to help pick up the pieces and run with it. So,
Absolutely.
told Peggy that she knows we've got her back. We'll take care of her people, and
Yes.
she focuses on what she has to focus on there. So our thoughts are,
Absolutely.
are, are truly with her at this
Yes.
moment.
Absolutely. I totally agree. It's one of the things that in just like you talk about the corporate environment
Mhm.
and people even if you leave.
Yeah.
You come back. Like I came back from the 1 week that I was out. I have about 600 emails, and
Wow.
these emails were all about requesting me to do stuff,
Yeah.
and it goes back to the culture and how that can actually somebody get, like we're actually standing right now for Peggy and her family. Our thoughts
Mhm.
are with them and to make sure that everything is fine. But she should not, she shouldn't have any thoughts about the business because we're here
Right.
to support her all out.
Absolutely. A shout out to Karen and Merle and Monica Savage and Ryan all for joining us on the watch party. But
Right.
we were talking over the weekend, and we've heard a lot about the parable that HB talks about with the elephant, the monkey, and the fish. And I
Correct.
thought to myself, there's got to be other really cool parables out there that can be motivational stuff. So I turned to my good friend, Mr. Google, and I wanted to
Yes.
find out from Google, what he has out there. And I came across a really cool parable.
Okay.
And that's what kind of want us to talk about today. Kelly's on the call. Charles is on the call. Hey, guys,
Hey
welcome to
guys.
you. Um, Here it is. And it says, imagine that you had a bank account
Okay.
that deposited $86,400 each morning.
Oh
The
wow.
account never
I would
carries
love
a balance
I would love
day
that
to
bank
day,
account.
allows you to keep no cash balance, and
Okay.
every evening cancels out what whatever part of the amount you had failed to use during that day. What would you do? Do you draw out every dollar every day?
I would draw out all every dollar. I will make sure I make a maximum use of every dollar every day without losing a dime.
Same here. I thought about this parable and I thought, wow, what would you do? Are you able to say to yourself, okay, I can live off 50,000 a day, and I'm gonna leave 36,400 on the table and rest and go have some downtime, whatever. What would you do? Well, here's the parable. That is that we all have a bank just like that, and
Right.
that bank is called time.
Oh my God.
Because every morning at 12:01 or 12 midnight, 1 second in the morning, we have 86,400 seconds in that
Right.
day.
Right.
Every night, it writes it
We
off.
you write it out exactly.
Whatever time we didn't use, it's gone, it's failed. It carries no balance the next day. It allows no overdrafts, nothing. So, the question that becomes, we heard people say, if I could just borrow some time,
Right.
you can't. And you can't take a loan out on
Right.
time.
Right.
So the whole thing comes about is time management. Is there such a thing as time management, or is it personal management?
It's kind of funny because you and I have spoken about like we spoke about this last night, and it's incredible because so many times we think about time management, and this goes not just for business, but it goes through organizations and personal lives. So many times people think about, or even the HR departments, they think about time management to be an effective tool to train employees. But at the end of the day, there's nothing as time management, because guess what? We all have 24 hours. We all have this 800 and 600, multiple times seconds that we all have a day. But it all boils down to how do you manage yourself around that time? How do you manage yourself? What activities do you engage yourself into? What income producing activities do you engage yourself into within that time frame? And also you also want to look at, so how much impact are you creating in the life of somebody else within that time frame? Because guess what? If you don't use it, it's gonna go away, and you want to make sure you take a total use, maximum use of that time. And
Okay, everyone, I am back. Let me see if I can get Rudy to rejoin us. I do apologize for that, folks. Some real issues going on with my Wi-Fi, my internet here. And we'll see if he can come back and rejoin us again. But as we're talking about with time management and personal management, folks, you can see something happen here, and we had to really revamp it for a moment. And personal management is part of how you spend each moment of your time. And you do have those 86,400 seconds in a day in which you can have some opportunities there to do some things and to make some things happen. So it really takes a look at, how do you spend your day? How do you make your day happen with it? And that's what it really is all about when it comes to looking at your day, looking at those moments. Yeah, I'm not saying that you can't take time for yourself, but each one of the seconds where you ponder, where you procrastinate, where you think, well, maybe this or that, those are moments away from you really having success. Or maybe you spend some time looking at other people and seeing what they're doing. My brother's coming back in 1 second, and there you are, Rudy. I am so sorry. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi here in my place, but it is really got some issues. I got to do something.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna fire the Wi-Fi.
There we go. I think ibüümerang needs to have Wi-Fi to make it stable. I'm gonna start using a mobile device for everything, because
Absolutely.
it's interesting. When there's only 2 Wi-Fi companies in town, they
No
act.
problem.
Yeah,
They need some kind of competition.
exactly right. So
But
I was,
talking about time management, man,
yeah.
we were really digging deep into personal management.
Mhm.
So many times people think about it like, okay, but now in personal management, what am I going to do to actually personally, to manage myself personally?
Right.
And I'm looking at somebody who said, I want to manage myself personally. I really want to look at what are the things that are important to you.
Right.
We all have the same amount of time. What are the things that are important to you? What are the things that are urgent and important? I was having a
Right.
conversation the other day, one of my friends in the leadership program, and he said every time he's doing something, and this is a common tendency, because every time he's doing something and he gets a phone call, he just jumps on the phone call, and
Mhm.
if the caller actually says, you know what, I want you to do this for me, he'll forget about everything that he was doing here and
Right.
go jump into something else that
Right.
that somebody asked him to do. So
Mhm.
I said, you really want to know what is important to you, and if you put things on your calendar, you're really strategizing the calendar things that you want to get accomplished.
Right.
Things that you really want to get accomplished. That's one of the reasons. I mean, using the calendar has been one of the biggest tools for me.
Mhm.
Because it actually aligns my day. Yeah, I literally know what's going to happen in the next 1 minute, 2 minutes. Like I have a notification coming up right now that I have another call in 14 minutes. So, you know, so it all boils down to what's important to you. But you really want to look at those activities that you're putting right there in your calendar.
Right.
Are those activities actually income producing activities? Because at the end of the day, you really want to look at, are you creating an impact? Are you creating are you seeing the result, an
Right.
outcome of
Right.
every activity, like every second, every moment, every minute you spend during the day?
Exactly.
What's an outcome that results from that?
You're so right. In fact, one of the conversation we had with Charles, we asked how do you start your day out, and he exactly said what you just said. He started the day out saying, "This is what I want to get accomplished today,"
Right.
And the key to it is you either write it down, even if it means you're doing it on your phone and you write it down, you
Yeah.
write it down, because that means you're making a commitment to it.
Yes.
And as you go through, you scratch it off. And at the end of the day, you should have 20 times the scratch offs as you do what's left on there to carry over the next day.
Absolutely. You know, I developed a recent habit of actually working with a note with a little pad. You know, the notepad, and the little pad is I put it in my pocket. Sometimes I have the sticky note all over the place, but I like it's a new way of being for me right now.
Right, right,
And the reason why I do that is because there are times when you're walking on the street, or you see something, and an idea just, click in your head, in your
right.
mind, and idea just click. Oh, you want to write it down, because guess what? Anything that is not written, it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly right.
you can't trust your mind.
Right.
I'm gonna remember to call them. I'm gonna remember to call this person. I'm gonna remember to do this. No, you can't trust your mind. You
Right.
really gotta work with the calendar, because you want to free your mind to be thinking about something. You don't want to occupy your mind with a schedule.
Right.
Put the schedule on the calendar. Let your mind be free to think about income producing activity that you can really get accomplished.
Exactly. And in the calendar that we have, this baby,
Yeah,
the calendar we have,
right there.
not only is it things to do that are our business related,
Yes.
but it's also things on there that are personal and things that are spiritual, meaning
Correct.
meditation, meaning
Correct.
taking time to reflect. All of that is part of those 86,400 seconds that you have in a day.
Yeah.
And how do you spend that time? If you spend your time surfing on Facebook and looking what other people are doing,
Yeah.
how is that going to benefit you?
Not just looking at what people are doing, but actually looking at what people are doing and complain about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Looking at what people are
Really
doing.
help you. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a waste of your time. It brings down. You start developing hatred. You start developing. So many things start going on through you. Start going through your mind, and
Right.
you think about it like, how am I gonna? You waste so much of your time
Exactly.
looking at people's feeds on Facebook and complaining or commenting and saying, "Oh my," you giving your opinions about things. Things that are not going to add you any value. It's okay to comment about things that are appreciated. What I usually think about myself is, if I'm not appreciating something, if I'm not appreciating somebody,
Right.
I don't have anything to say.
Exactly. Ooh, I love
There
that.
might be there
Wow.
might be something that somebody does, or then asks me, like, like, what are you gonna say about this? I'm like,
Right.
I don't have anything. I don't have an opinion, because
Right.
if I'm not adding value to it, then why say anything?
Boy, that is so powerful. I mean, I love that. Say it again. If you're not adding value,
Value.
why say
No,
anything?
why say anything? Because it's all about making sure that every contribution, everything that we say, everything that goes out of our mouth is a gratitude, it's appreciation, it's empowering, it's fulfilling, it's inspiring to somebody else's life, it's motivating to somebody.
Absolutely. And what you just talked about there is how the law of attraction says, you know what? You always look to add value. We're going to
Right.
give you people of value.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because the more you speak, I had a conversation yesterday with a guy who called me up, and we were having a nice conversation. He saw the ID set and everything. He was at a presentation the other night, and he said he's gonna be a customer. I said, oh, great,
Mhm.
enjoy. And when as soon as he called me, I pick up the phone.
Mhm.
So we had an appointment for 2 o'clock yesterday. So he called and said, "Hey, Ricardo, what's going on, my brother?" He was like, "Wow, man, this." he said, he said, what's going on, man? The energy is so vibrant. It's so contagious. I said,
Right.
yeah. I said, that's the way we kind of live, because if you're gonna create an impact in the life of somebody else. So he
Right.
said that's how he's been trained in business, but it's hard to keep up. I said, well, you can only keep up with that if you know that you're only doing it in business. But if you
Right.
translate that into all areas of your life, then it
Right.
becomes part of you.
Exactly. Exactly right. That is so true and so powerful there, Rudy. You're exactly right with all that. My brother, I know you've got a call coming up. We've in less than 7 hours, guys. We're going to be back live doing an opportunity call, going into a deep dive about what iboomerang is all about. It's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. It'll be on Zoom. we'll be posting those Zoom numbers that you can come out and see us with. If you're here in St. Louis tonight, at that same time, we'll be having an opportunity at the Hilton Frontenac on Lindbergh, and I'll be stepping out and doing the Zoom with Rudy while we have a live presentation going on. That's just maximizing the opportunities right there is what it is.
Absolutely.
But brother, if someone wants to learn more, what do they do?
Hey, just if you watch this video on Facebook or YouTube or whatever channel, somebody send a video to you, just put in the comments, say, tell me more, and we're going to send you more information about this opportunity and what we're doing, how we change the lives of people. And if you already heard about it and you feel like, you know what, I just want to check it out to see if it's actually working and stuff, say me, just type in ME at the comments, and we're going to provide you free access. It's free access to go in there and check it out and see what actually opens out for you.
Absolutely. My brother, I will see you tonight. Thanks to everyone that came on today. I saw Sheila and Charles also joined us. So boom to everyone, and we'll see you again in about 6.5 hours.
Absolutely, man.
Take care, brother.
All right, man.